It's another Friday, everyone. I'm Andy Hewing, joined by Delaney Barrow, and we're going to hop into some of the big sports topics going on this week. And also, we will be watching Greg Brown's announcement on which college basketball program he will be choosing. Obviously, Auburn is one of the teams of interest, so that will be a relevant subject for us, and we will definitely be watching and seeing what college he decides to go to. Brown is the number one power forward in the recruiting class right now, so Auburn would get a big boost on that, but we'll save that for just a few minutes later. But we're going to hop into the big sports talk this week, and that would be the NFL draft, as Auburn players were drafted last night. Two big players, Derek Brown and Noah Igbenogany. Derek Brown went 7th pick to the Carolina Panthers, and Noah Igbenogany was the 30th pick to the Miami Dolphins. Delaney, what was your reaction to those picks, and did you think those will be two good teams for both those players to be under?
Yeah, I think I'm super happy for both of them. That was amazing. I think a lot of people knew that Derek Brown was going to be the first player to go, first round. I do think I personally was surprised that Marlon Davidson didn't go later in the first round, but he'll most likely be going tonight. And I'm really impressed with Noah Igbenogany getting drafted by the Dolphins because he declared for the draft as a junior. He was really betting on himself, and that's so impressive. And the Dolphins also drafted Tua Tagovailoa, and so they're going to have him at quarterback. And I think that they're really building a powerful roster for this season.
Yeah, that's true because the Dolphins got rid of a lot of people in the past offseason, one of them being Ryan Tannehill. So they're going to need a new quarterback. And like you said, Tua, and then you get Igbenogany in there, who really brought himself up in Mel Kiper's board the last couple weeks and finally hit this late first round draft spot. I didn't think he was going to get it, but the Dolphins got that pick in the 30th pick, and I think he was a good pick for them to get. And obviously, Derek Brown, anyone wanted him. I think it was. I was kind of expecting him maybe to be a surprise, like a little bit higher. I was thinking more like the 4-5, like someone would take a chance on him instead of maybe getting a quarterback. But I think everyone knew that like Miami, the Chargers, they needed quarterbacks, so they went in that direction. But Derek Brown is one of the more quality players. I think Carolina is going to benefit from that. Um, but in the draft, in more general terms, Joe Burrow was the number one pick. Any surprise there? I don't. Were you surprised at all?
Not at all. I think pretty much the whole world knew he is going to be the new face for the Bengals and hopefully help rebuild that program. It's been a while since they've seen some success and some playoff wins, and I'm sure that he is going to undertake this as his newest challenge and looking forward to really turning that all around.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow, he shipped mass records coming and also came from Ohio State because he lived up there, and I think being back at home, having that kind of hometown environment that he's going to have back in Cincinnati, I think that'll do well for him, and he'll find success. Hopefully, it all works out for him. And best of luck to Joe, because I think everyone really loved and respected him. And speaking of the draft thing, we're actually going to go into now. Greg Brown is live, so I am going to share my screen in just a second. He's still, I just turned it on. He's not at his seat yet. It's live, but he's not at his desk. It's just an empty chair. We'll wait. But let's continue with the draft talk. So you talked about Marlon Davidson, kind of a surprise. Maybe we thought, oh, he might be late first round. But do you expect him to go tonight, second, third round pick?
I think personally, I think he'll go in the second round. I think he'll go pretty early on. He's been projected to go to Detroit, possibly. I think that just like Derek Brown, whoever gets him is going to be very lucky. He's going to be outstanding addition to the defense and just really excited to see where he lands.
Yeah, and also Javaris Davis being another corner. Auburn's got a few cornerbacks in this class that they just that they have. Javaris Davis is another pick, and I think Mel Kiper really talked about him being a guy. He's got speed. He's got the things that NFL scouts want. So he might be a second-round pick as well. So Auburn has got a lot of people that are able to, produce talent. And I think, you can kind of see that this class was really, really talented. Obviously, on the defensive side, it was very strong. But we'll talk about it in a second. But Greg Brown has just sat down. I'm going to share my screen. It may be a second before he actually starts talking. Just give me 1 second. Got to do this AirPlay stuff. Okay. Hopefully this will work. Yeah. Good.
He said announcement now.
Yes. So hopefully we'll hear something very soon because it is almost 2 o'clock.
I'm just waiting for those dudes to come on.
Now, just to give some context while we're waiting on him, he is the number one power forward in this high school class. Big recruit out of Austin, Texas. He's wanted by Memphis, Texas, North Carolina, and even has a G League contract staring him in the face. So we'll see what he picks. Hopefully it's Auburn for Auburn fans, but it's looking like Texas is the favorite. Then the G League maybe, or it could be the opposite. He may go G League. So it's just going to kind of depend on what he's thinking. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting because I think after what happened with Jalen Green, that's really going to maybe give him a little bit of a leeway of where he should go.
I agree, especially because Jalen Green made that decision. And from what I heard, Greg Brown's offer from the G League wasn't quite as high, but obviously it's a significant amount of money, whereas the NCAA, you're not getting anything. So I think that's very tempting for him.
Yeah, I agree. I think, when you're offered a contract, I think that's very appealing. So we'll see what happens.
There we go.
All right, here we go.
What's up, bro? It's good. My fault. It was taking too long to come on. I was trying to find
That's the worst thing to happen to me today. I'll be okay. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, you got a whole bunch of people in here, bro. You got a lot of love. I see Cade in there.
Yeah. It's a big decision.
Yeah, no, big, super decision. One many great decisions in your life to come.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me introduce myself, man. My name is Mark Spears. I'm from ESPN's The Undefeated, and it is my extreme pleasure to help Greg Brown III announce where he's taking his talents to. Quickly though, where are your emotions right now, man? And what does it feel like to see all these people waiting to hear what you got to say?
Man, to be honest, I'm nervous but excited because this is a big step in my life, and I'm just glad to have my family and friends to tag along with me. It's a very tough decision, and I just have faith in God that I made the right one. So I'm just nervous and excited.
Well, let me give some people some background on you real quick. 2020 McDonald's All-American. He averaged 26 points, 13 rebounds a game at Vandergrift High in Austin as a senior. The 9th-ranked player in the country by ESPN 100. Texas is Mr. Basketball, man. All right. let's get to it, man. I look, the coronavirus took away your prom. It took away your McDonald's. It took away your graduation, but it ain't gonna take away this. Greg, let everybody know what's on your mind.
Man, this is a really hard decision, to be honest. It took me into the final hour to really decide on where I was going to go. 5 schools gave me a great opportunity, and the G League gave me a great opportunity. It was a great visit on schools and campuses. The coaches were great, players were great, and everything. And just reached out to family and friends. I can't thank them enough for helping me with this decision because it was very, very tough. And it was a long process. I decided to the final hour today when I woke up this morning. And I'm happy to say I'll be committed to University of Texas.
Horns, baby.
Horns.
I know your dad's happy, man. Congratulations on your decision.
Thank you.
So we're going to stop it right there. I believe we get the point. I think that was what we expected. The University of Texas hometown decision. Shaka Smart being the coach there, I think that's a good fit. It's understandable. And I think that's the reason he didn't go to the G League is because that, like you said, that contract was a little bit smaller than Jalen Green's. Texas is the hometown school, and I think a lot of people have to realize that the University of Texas is like a pro college almost, because that it's like the only thing in Austin, Texas, as far as big major sports. They will have a new MLS team, but that's pretty much it for professional sports. So Texas is a very appealing offer, very big school. Understandable. Obviously, for Auburn fans, it's not exactly what they wanted because Auburn really needed another big guy to kind of fill some of the spots that were left after Okoro left and all those seniors. But it's okay. I think, they have a top 10 recruiting class. They're going to have a lot of guys to fill in, and even guys off the bench from this past year that will look to make impact. I think Auburn is still in a good place, even without Greg Brown.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think, like you said, the hometown part, that just has a huge weight, and it's always so cool staying local, and especially like I said, his dad would be happy, just meaning a lot to his family. And you're right about the contract with the G League. That's probably one of the reasons he didn't go there. But I am glad that he, as a talented player, he did decide to go the college route and just keep that going, and hopefully encourage other players who haven't yet committed to choose the college route as well, instead of losing all of them to the G League in order to keep college hoops as competitive as they can be.
I agree. And I like I said last week, it's not that going to the G League's wrong. It's not that it's, wrong to take a contract. I just think the exposure in college basketball is so much better if you're trying to make a team right out of college, especially since they're able to go after their freshman year. I think, going to the NCAA tournament, if you get to a big team, like a Duke, North Carolina, you're going to get that exposure because you're playing on national TV pretty much every game. So, I think Jalen Green, maybe his case, he had the decision to do that. But Greg Brown, I think that was a good choice for him to go to college. So, best of luck to him. But speaking of tournaments and stuff like that, we're going to hop into our final topic of this show, and that will be the Auburn Sports Bracket Elite 8. I'm going to share my screen yet again. Let me pull up the picture of the bracket, and then I will share my screen. Just give me 1 second. Okay. So these are our winners. We only have 4 matchups now, so it's pretty easy to get through pretty quickly. But we'll start in the Aubie region, and without any doubt or any surprise to us, the Kick Six has won over Bo's Heisman Trophy. I think that is probably the favorite to win if the Prayer Jordan Hare or the Final Four doesn't beat it. But we'll see. and then the Kick Six will take on Punt Bama Punt, which I was a little surprised this one made it, but it was a great game. If you go back and watch it, if you never watched that game, it was really, really good. And those two will be matching up. So pretty much your favorite Iron Bowl memory there. Down in the bottom of the Aubie region, a bow over the top upset the Iron Bowl 2019, which I was a little surprised on that one too. But I think if you think about the context of both those games, the Iron Bowl kind of shot Alabama's dreams. I mean, the bow over the top did shoot Alabama's dreams too. But like the thing about that game is Auburn hadn't won in 10 years, and Alabama was just dominating until Bo Jackson came in there. So I think the context of that game maybe just overrides how cool the 2019 game was, maybe. But that's totally anyone's opinion there. Then that matchup will be against the national title in 2010 when Auburn went undefeated with Cam Newton and Gene Chizik as head coach and beat Oregon to win the national title in Arizona in Glendale. So that will be the matchup in the Aubie region. And then we're going to move over to the Aria region for the two matchups. And honestly, another one that I wasn't surprised about, the Final Four run of 2019 against softball College World Series 2016. I think pretty much choose your favorite NCAA moment, but I think I'm going to say probably most likely the Final Four is going to be the favorite. But softball College World Series was a great moment, although they didn't win either. It was a great run to the finals of one of softball's biggest events. And then the last matchup will be the Iron Bowl of 2010 when Cam Newton overcame a huge deficit to beat Alabama 28-27. And that will be taking on the prayer of Jordan Hare from 2013 when Nick Marshall threw the Hail Mary pass to Ricardo Lewis with 25 seconds remaining to beat Georgia and keep the hopes of going to Atlanta alive. And that was a crazy game as well. So I think there's a lot of good matchups. Delaney, who do you think what matchup would you are you most interested in?
I think the Kick Six and Punt Bama Punt is going to be very interesting considering, like you said, it's a matchup of two Iron Bowls. And also, everybody likes to say that Auburn is an everything school. But 6 out of the 8 teams left in this tournament, or teams, events, are from football. So I think that just says a lot about where our priorities lie. And I would be surprised if a football moment does not come out victorious out of this whole thing.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think, football is a big sport in Auburn, and yeah, is definitely, I mean, sure, we're very successful in other sports, but we all know that we're still a football school. Basketball's getting there, I think, but it's good when you're all around, but I think we all know where our roots lie as a athletics school. But yeah, so these are going to be the matchups. I think one matchup that I'm interested in is the Iron Bowl 2010 and the Prayer Jordan Hare, because these were kind of two games where one was a huge comeback from Auburn, but the other one was a blown lead from Auburn that almost resulted in Auburn losing at the end, but they had to throw the Hail Mary pass to take the lead again. And then Georgia came down again and almost scored, but Auburn's defense had to make a stand right at the end to save the game. So that was a chaotic game, and I think you'll kind of have two games where it's like crazy finishes to pick from. So I guess just like choose your favorite moment there, but I think that'll be an interesting one to see what the fans pick.
Definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, those will be available on Saturday. We'll have all those polls out on our website. We'll start sharing the matchups to social media. That way you'll be able to vote on these 4 to decide our final 4 in the bracket. Hopefully you guys will let us know what you're thinking and make those picks. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for us this week. Thank you for joining us. We'll have those brackets out tomorrow. Make sure you vote on that, and we'll see you next week as we talk more sports and then unveil those results from the bracket.